Newsweek was shaming Christians into voting for Trump using basically a really niche little evangelicals for Kamala Harris group. And it was really interesting, the message that they put against them. And then this got picked up by a lot of news agencies where they're saying, look at, there's actually evangelicals that are for Kamala, which they can't count even 1,000 evangelicals for Kamala. There's 1,000 Christians for Kamala, but they're not necessarily evangelicals. And so the Protestant evangelical movement, there's not a whole lot of people who will say, I'm from Kamala. But Billy Graham's daughter, who's one of the most visible ones, is a part of this campaign. So there's others as well. And it's really sad because Franklin Graham has put his endorsement towards Trump, and now she's put her endorsement towards Kamala, but they're both using the Christian narrative for this. And so there's an ad that was put out by Kamala this week, or by this group for Kamala this week. And I wanted to play this ad and show how divisive it is. Like, this is how divisive this movement is.
But you must realize that in the last days, the times will be full of danger. Men will become utterly self-centered and greedy for money.
My whole life I've been greedy. I've grabbed all the money I could get. I'm so greedy.
And again, he was saying that, but this is also the man who didn't take a paycheck, who's the only president who's gotten poorer during his term in office. Everybody else has become mega millionaires, and he actually lost a huge portion of his net worth to be in office. And so they're taking everything out of context in this entire ad, but man, they're hitting him hard because they're trying to show you this is not a Christian man.
In the rest of that clip, he's talking about the person that he used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's referencing, this is who I used to be, and he's talking about how he's changed or how he's tried to change. But they just take that one little portion. I mean, you'll see the rest of the video. They just do that over and over.
Over and over. And again, this is like a tactic, like the ultimate political tactic, which for me, for a Christian evangelical group, supposedly evangelicals for Harris, for a Christian group to do this is absolutely like, there's 7 things the Lord hates, or 6 things the Lord hates, 7 he despises: to bear false witness, to lie, all these things. And they're basically taking political tactics and repeating them. And it was so offensive to me.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
Uncontrolled and violent.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
They will be treacherous, reckless, and arrogant.
I am the chosen one.
Loving what gives them pleasure instead of loving God.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet.
Maintain a facade of religion, but their lives deny the truth.
Have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
That's a tough question. I'm not sure I have. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't.
Keep clear of people like that.
Evangelicals for Harris as it comes in. Again, so I think that this was like, I wanted to bring this up because this is one of those tactics that you can just see people who aren't walking in a Christ-like spirit are bringing against. And if this was Kamala as well, it would just be wrong. Just the mentality that Christians would make an ad like this is so vile and demonic to me, and wrong. Either way, whoever politician they made it against, when you're completely falsely representing them the entire time and just trying to put him in the worst light possible to show like he can't be a Christian, so don't vote for him, which is a terrible argument because most politicians are not Christians and we're not voting for him to be a Christian. And we're not voting for him to be a pastor. And that's exactly what they're basically accusing anybody who likes Trump. They're voting for somebody who's such a foul person. How dare you? And it's just a rhetoric that like this extremely progressive left Christianity is just disgustingly guilty of.
Yeah, let's hold up this same standard to every other politician in office right now. Let's hold the same standard to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. You know, let's look at Kamala Harris's sexual past or her husband's sexual past. Like, you can't tell me that this ad or this group is actually a group of evangelical Christians who are concerned about their country. It is a complete front. Like, it's a facade. You cannot tell me that they're actually a Christian group. I love what the article said, though. That talked about this from Newsweek. It said, Billy Graham's views on Trump's 2024 campaign will remain a mystery since Billy Graham died in 2008. So it's like, oh, he might have been for Harris. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know if he's for Harris. Well, I will say I've never seen another evangelical group make an ad this bad. That's a mainstream group or that's trying to really tout itself as somebody, or that got picked up by the mainstream media. There's a lot of Christians who made terrible ads before, but to do it for as like the party contenders for like, we are the Christians that are for Harris. and this is our representation of Christ to you and why you should vote for, was literally the dirtiest thing they could have ever done. They should be so ashamed of themselves for even making an ad like this and using $1 million that could have gone to things that are really important and are really valuable. To me, this is one of the biggest Christian scams. I hope it was independent private money that wasn't nonprofit. If it was tax deductible money, they should be literally arrested for that.
All I have to say is, I am the chosen one.
It was pretty funny. It was like, I am the chosen one. I will say he's got a lot more humble in the sense of like,
100%.
These are very old.
100%.
And even after he, almost passed away from being shot at, like they almost shot him, or they did shoot him, and he got his ear shot up and the whole thing, which the mainstream media, we know what they said about that. But when someone asked him, one of the reporters asked him, and we played it on here, do you think that God spared you for this? He goes, maybe God wants me to be president. Before he would have said, yes, I am the president. They totally, they lied on the voting, the whole thing. He was so much more humble. Like, I think maybe he did. And that's why I'm alive today. Maybe that's one of the main reasons why I'm spared, because that was a miracle. Like, you can't doubt that was a miracle, that I should have died. And so it was really way different Trump this time around than we got last time around. And I just think the television figure of Trump, of you're fired, to the Trump we have today, the 2024 Trump, is a way different person.